guys, are you guys looking for recipes for weight loss? Then this recipe is definitely for you. So the recipe is called Soba Spring Roll. It's very easy, low calorie. So follow me and start learning the recipe. Let's get started. Before we start preparing the ingredients, so let's just have the pot with some water and let's start heating it to a boil. So while the water is boiling, let me introduce our ingredients for this recipe. We need 1 block of firm tofu and half of the carrots are already take off the skin, and we need some green cabbage as well. You can also using red cabbage. You can also add in cucumbers. But for now, I'm just keeping the recipes very simple. And let's go ahead and start cutting those firm tofu into like a small blocks about 1 inch thick, and later we're gonna pan fry them so they can become very crispy. Right after the tofu is being prepared, I'm gonna heat our pan. We're actually gonna pour in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil here. So give it turn. So now before the water gets hot, we actually can putting our tofu's into the pan. So you know, this can really help preventing when the oil is very hot, you putting the tofu in there, there's water, then the oil gonna start spreading everywhere. It's pretty dangerous. So we will just start pan frying our tofu while the oil is cold. Just lay all them in one layer. Waiting for the tofu being fried, it probably takes about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. You can just keep the heat to be high until you started hearing you know, like the sizzling sounds. Then you can turn down to medium heat. We will need to cut these carrots into stripes. So find a stable layer. So now the carrots are done. Let's just start preparing the green cabbage. We don't need the whole thing, so I'll just chop off a small portion. Probably this is good enough. And start just slicing up. Chop it as thin as you can, so later when you're wrapping the spring roll, it will be softer to do that. Alright, the water actually is boiling now. Let's put our soba noodles into the water to cook. Here's about 6 ounces of soba water. This is gonna be enough for us to make about 8 spring roll later on. Alright, let's give a quick stir for the noodle to preventing them sticking on the pot. And my noodle actually requires 7 minutes to cook, so you can check the noodle package, making sure you know how many minutes it's needed for the soba noodle to be cooked fully. Alright, it looks like our tofu is ready for one side, so let's just flip each of them into another side. Look how awesome they look like. Crispy but not overcooked, so the center will still be pretty soft. And we're gonna pan fry another side for another 4 minutes. Alright, first we need 1/3 cup of peanut butter, and then we will add 3 tablespoons of water. We also need 1 tablespoon of low sodium soy sauce. Rice vinegar. Sesame oil. And about 1 tablespoon of honey as well. Then now we start stirring it until it forms a pretty thick peanut sauce for our spring roll today. While the sauce is done, so add 1 minced garlic into there to enhance some flavor. And then give a quick stir again. Noodle looks it's done. Let's turn off the heat. And then we can actually rinse the noodle in cold water so it won't be too hot for us to preparing the spring roll later. Now we got all our ingredients: the soba noodle, vegetables with green cabbage and carrots, our protein right here, pan-fried tofu, and our peanut sauce as well. So I'm gonna start with soaking those rice paper in the water. I got some water here. Let us soften down. Make sure you try 1 piece at a time. So if you're putting like cereal into it, it's gonna stick together. All right, after 15 seconds, the rice paper actually is ready. You can see it's very flexible. So just put it on our cutting boards and start rolling up. Actually, before I am gonna start rolling another one, I'm just gonna put in a new ones here, let it soak, so you can save our time. So we do grab about 3 ounces of soba noodles here. It doesn't have to be a lot because all these soba noodles right here, we're gonna make 8 spring rolls. Adding your vegetables in. This is the one we want a lot. Vegetables are very low in calorie and high in fiber. That's the key, make you feel full and also help cutting down your calorie as well. And putting your proteins, tofu right here. Protein is needed for your weight loss as well. It helps you to preventing your muscle loss. We do need the protein. Let's add about 1 tablespoon of sauce. Don't overdo it. I know this sauce tastes very good, but we are watching your calories, so just do about 1 tablespoon is good. And just roll it like this. Have the 2 sides close up. I just made 2 spring rolls. So this actually is the size for your 1 meal. This is less than 500 calories. And while another way for adding the sauce, you can also dip it as well. But I do like to preparing it, including sauce in the spring roll, so that in that way you can really watching the amount of sauce you put it in. But if you want to, you can still leave, the peanut sauce on the side. But make sure, since here's 2 spring roll, have 2 tablespoons in a small container that you can dip it and eat it with. All right, hopefully you can enjoy this.